obviously put in a lot. So they work way too many hours than I would like to. So I think for them it was more so for them than for us. Even it was a good win to see both of us up there, especially at the beginning of the season.
Cool. Just really quickly, first impressions. Brand new track here. Looks a little bit sandy, a little bit hard in places as well. You've only had a
It's tricky. Yeah, it's tricky. I have to say we've done only the free practice now, but yeah, we're struggling out there. To stay on two wheels is going to be difficult because it's really
unpredictable.
Unpredictable. That's the word. But no, it's cool. It's cool. Cool layout, big jumps for sand track especially. So I think it'll be interesting, and we'll see when we get racing how it races. But for now, it's okay. It's tricky.
Cool. Well, look, Camden McClone, we are out of time. Thanks for joining us. And, yeah, once again, thanks, Smarty Pants.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys.
Wait there 1 second. Before we meet Tom Vial, here's a snippet from Behind the Gate, episode 1. Of course, it's just out this week, and it's talking about the two world champions carrying the #1 plate and a little catch-up with Romain Febvre. Enjoy.
For the first time since MXGP and MX2 classes have been racing together at the same events, we have got a #1 plate in both classes. But the competition this year is just so tough. Defending those #1 plates is not going to be easy.
I had to son these boys, can't leave them bastards. A lot of dudes, just some undercover actress. I don't fall for it, I'm privy to all your tactics.
Yeah, feels good. Feels good to be to start the season finally. It's been a long winter again, so just exciting to go racing. Yeah, pre-season has been good. Like I say, this year it was pretty long winter just because the weather was not with us. All over Europe it was raining quite bad, so we had to move a lot to be able to find some good condition. But yeah, everything went pretty smooth, and yeah, I'm ready. So let's see how it will be the weekend.
How does it feel having that big #1 on the bike? Do you feel any added pressure, or does it feel good?
No, not at all. No pressure at all. I felt like the pressure was last year to finally get my hand on the second world title. That was the pressure, but now it's just I enjoy every moment, and yeah, like I say, I have delivered the title already last year, so I'm really pleased with this already, and then yeah, I will do again my best this year to see where I am, but no, just enjoying.
I'm sorry if I stutter, yeah, my brain move a little faster than others, yeah, I even keep a close eye on my brothers, cause sometimes it's your blood that turn into...
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second part of our live studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our second guest joins us now, Tom Vial from Honda HRC Petronas, and fresh back from the US as well. Tom, great to see you. Yeah, the last time we saw you in Europe, and probably in the studio show, you won your second MX2 world title. You went to the US, won 2 more Supercross titles in the 250 class in the 3 years you were there. How was that whole American experience for you, briefly?
It's nice to be back, first of all, but 3 years in the US, it went pretty quick, I feel like. It was obviously the first year a little bit tough, getting to know the Supercross and getting used to the track in outdoor. But it went pretty quick with the second year in the US in 24, won my first title, Supercross, so that was a big deal. That's also why I went to the US to ride Supercross. That was the main goal, and yeah, I achieved it twice. 2 in a row is pretty hard, but I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, well, obviously, fast forward then, 2026, here you are, back in the World Championship, now in MXGP, of course, and riding for Honda HRC Petronas. When did that conversation first start to take place in terms of you're going to be leaving America, maybe there's an option there in Europe for the World Championship? Can you give me a timeline? Was it like July, August, September, somewhere like that?
A little bit before, I would say. So.
And how did it come about? Yeah, the reason behind it.
It's a tough question,
yeah.
But I would say it's quite long to answer. But my goal, first of all, was to stay in the US. And after Supercross, we were a lot of discussion with KTM, obviously from last year, and trying to to move to the 450 class. That was the goal, and I had to, because after 2 titles in 250, you have to move. So that was the main discussion, and then we were struggling to find a way. Obviously, that's pretty an easy answer. And then Honda and Giacomo, we start talking a little bit after Supercross, and then, to be honest, things moved pretty quickly. So that was really nice. Honda and HRC were really motivated, and I was also, I feel like at the moment the Honda, the 450 is one of the best bike, which is in Supercross or motocross in the US or in Europe. Like, the bike is in front, so I was like, I wanna try that bike, and I was really motivated to come back in Europe also, because that's condition that I know. I've been there for 4 years. I know pretty much what the GP works, the training, and I was like, okay, let's move to the 450, and I think one of the best bike, the best team, and in condition that I know, and I feel pretty confident in it. So that was a little bit the main reason, and was pretty quick. After a couple of weeks, we found an agreement.
And being back, I guess it's a little bit like old times for you, because you've got Jeffrey as your teammate, but the difference this year is you're racing him and you're both going for that win, aren't you?
Yes, it's pretty funny. With Jeffrey, we've been like for 4 years, the same team with KTM. We've been training a lot in the winter, like together in Spain, and it's pretty, we always had a good relation, so it's pretty nice to have him for me also as a teammate, and I can obviously learn a lot from Jeffrey. So yeah, it has been cool to have Jeff in the team, someone that I know from before a little bit, let's say.
Exactly. Argentina, other than winning the GP, it was pretty much the perfect weekend for you. You got the qualifying race win, and you were just in the fight the whole time, weren't you?
Yes, it was, you know, like a lot of questions before the first race, also for myself. Like, I didn't really know. We did a couple pre-season races, but I didn't know exactly where to be. And after the Saturday, I felt really good on the bike, on the track as well. And it was really nice to win that quali race, and it was a great boost for Sunday. And yeah, I felt great all day on the bike. I really enjoy riding the bike at the moment, so I'm trying to keep it that way.
Obviously, in terms of the Grand Prix, you were 3rd overall, 2nd in the championship because of the points you got in the qualifying race on Saturday. Like I said, probably better than you expected over the course of the weekend. Did you know maybe at some point that you could be a contender for podiums and maybe even the title at some point?
You mean before the first GP, right?
Yeah.
It's a tough question. I felt good at training. The pre-season race went pretty well. I went always on the podium on those races. So the speed, you know, in winter and training, you can see a little bit of the rider. You can know a little bit where you're at. But racing, we all know, is so different. Yeah. But I didn't really know, and I don't really say like I want to be a world champion. I mean, that's my goal. But I try to do my best every weekend and see where I end up. That's trying not to put too much pressure on myself.
Yeah. And what were your thoughts on the track in Argentina? Because you raced Villa Langostura in MX2, didn't you? And how did that track compare to Bariloche last weekend?
Quite, I would say the ground quite a lot, a little bit different, a little bit more sandy. The track was really rough by the second moto, I feel like, on Sunday. It was a fast track, a little bit like Villa, the other track we were. But I had fun. It was good. I had fun all weekend on the track.
We're here in Andalucia, a new track for everyone. You've had free practice a few moments ago. What are your first impressions?
First of all, I was feeling like it's feeling strange to be in Spain and riding in the sun.
Exactly.
But the layout of the track is pretty fun. There's some big jump, which normally when it's a sandy track, the jump should be a little bit smaller, I feel like. Yeah. Because of the ruts and the takeoff. So hopefully for the race they will fix a little bit the takeoff, because I feel like a big jump in the sun is not the good combination. But the layout of the track is pretty fun.
Okay.
Obviously, Europe is very different to the US. Are you enjoying being back? And where's your base now? Because before you left, you were living in Belgium. But obviously now you're riding for an Italian team. So are you based more there? Are you back in France? Are you in Belgium? What is
I live in France all year. And I obviously train in Belgium often, because that's where we get ready. The team has a workshop, a training base in Holland. So I'm often there to train, but I live in France.
And obviously, I guess one of the biggest factors, one of the biggest draws, apart from the team, was the weather. You just missed the European weather, didn't you?
Actually, I used to live in Florida for 3 years, so it's pretty much like summer. All the time. It doesn't get too cold. And I got lucky because I went to Sardinia to train, a little bit in Spain all winter, so I wasn't really like in Holland or Belgium or Germany, like in those tough conditions too much. So, and right now the weather in Belgium is pretty good.
Yeah. Obviously, you've talked about the track here. What tracks are you looking forward to going the most during the season that you enjoyed riding when you were here last?
I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of tracks. We travel a lot. I actually like when we go overseas, then build the track. It's fun because it's a track that no one knows, and I enjoy always those overseas races. But in Europe, I would say a French race. We go back to La Capelle, Marival, so which is really a typical track, a little small, but it's really, I would say, a French track. So I'm excited to go there.
And before we go, would you say that one of the biggest things you brought back from America is a bit more intensity, race intensity?
I'll say yes, especially from Supercross, I think. You know, those races are a little shorter and it's really quick. You have to be fast after. When the gate drop, you have to be really like, give everything you have. And it was nice in Argentina. I got always good start, but one start I messed up a little bit and I was like 6, 7, and I passed a lot of guys in the first lap, which I think, like you said, those intensity in Supercross or even in outdoor in the US is that can help me, I think.
Cool. Well, look, Tom Vial, we are out of time. Thanks for joining us. Don't go away just yet. Just want to introduce this video clip. But all the best for this weekend and the rest of the season. Good to see you.
Thanks,
Thank
Tom.
you.
Yeah, right. Before we meet our final guest, Rasmus Jorgensen, here's another snippet from episode 1, New Beginnings on Behind the Gate. That's out now on MXGP TV, of course, and also on YouTube. And this is just focusing on Tim Geiser switching teams in the off-season. Enjoy this one.
These 2 tabletops. Yeah. Alghero and Mantova. And Mantova. Okay.
So far, everything is going smooth and good. Like you all know, I mean, we didn't have a lot of time yet on the bike. But I mean, we try to do our best, and I'm feeling more comfortable every time I sit on the bike. And yeah, this weekend we're gonna have first race here in Alghero. I think it's the first true test, and I'm really looking forward. My general feeling, like first time on the bike, was obviously strange, you know, like it's a different bike, but after a couple of laps, you know, like a couple of motos, couple of days of riding, I start to feel comfortable, you know. Obviously we were testing a lot, you know, to get me feeling better and better, but yeah, in general, the feeling was good.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the final part of our studio show here on MXGPTV.com with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. Our final guest joins us now, Rasmus Jorgensen, team manager, Nastan Husqvarna Factory Racing. Rasmus, great to see you. Here we are back in Europe, Almonte, brand new venue. New year, slightly different look to the team. Obviously one rider in 250 with Liam, one in 450 with Kai. And obviously, quick plug, you got a new sponsor on the Rad Shouts. Guess it comes in handy at the moment.
Yeah, sure it does. It's and especially a partner like Red Bull, you know, it brings in something that no other brand does, you know, so which is something that we're really proud of, you know, as a team to carry that on our, you know, our trucks, our gear, our bikes and everything. So it's been a really nice addition to the rooster, let's say.
Yeah. When did the discussions first start about Kai moving to 450? Because obviously, you know, he could have stayed MX2, maybe had another opportunity to win 250, but then obviously getting older, getting taller, getting bigger, getting stronger and all those things. So when did you start that kind of process and how long did it take in the end?
Well, it could have gone automatically, right? So he was still in the title fight till the last motor of the year last year. So we couldn't really talk much. We didn't want to talk much. Obviously, there was, the topic did come up during the season, but we, especially when we were 70 points down and it didn't look like a comeback would be possible. But towards the end, we were just focusing on one race at a time and try to close that gap and finally clinch the title, which, unfortunately didn't happen. And then it was, it was Kai's decision. It was purely his decision. We would back him up in whatever road he would take, let's say. He's only 21. He could have done another year. But he felt, the highest motivation to move up. He's obviously been riding the 450 a bit and felt like this was the time. And it's cool. It's nice to be back in the Premier class.
Yeah.
Well, no Kai in Argentina. We'll talk about him in a bit. But Liam was there, 4th in the quali race, even after that first turn crash. It wasn't bad, was it? It was not a bad race that Saturday.
Yeah, no, the first one is always, everybody's excited. And Liam has had a very, very good winter. We've worked on several areas, and we believe he's made a good step in all of those areas. And this is kind of the first test. You go to a preseason race, but it's not a GP. So he had a really great feeling overall, and unfortunately he picked up an illness, during the night and was very ill on Sunday. So I think we maximized let's say the whole situation in terms of points and stuff like that. To finish 4th overall, he was really, really sick. So, and just watching him lead those laps, second motor especially, I felt really good watching that because he looked comfortable doing it. And obviously knowing how much he was suffering with the fever and all of that, it was good signs, let's say. So, got some good points, and now we're here. Yeah.
Well, I was going to mention the sickness on the Sunday. How much do you think that sickness took away from his full potential that day?
Well, it's difficult to say. Obviously, there was not much in the tank. He did not sleep much during the night. He had a high fever. So he picked up some kind of flu. Actually, a few other team members did as well. So it was, it's difficult to say how much it took away, but it definitely, he wasn't at his best. You know?
I was talking to Jason Thomas on our MXGP podcast in the week on Wednesday, and 850 meters is about where he lives in the US, and he said he even feels it, when he comes back from Iran or when he's doing his, his workouts and stuff. So he said if you're running with fever and sickness and stuff like that, he's definitely going to feel it in that kind of scenario, especially, racing a 250 or a 450.
Yeah, no, so it was really impressive what he did, absolutely.
Obviously on Sunday, 7th and a 3rd, 4th overall. He said he led much of the second race here. His pace seems to be where it needs to be. And I guess when he's kind of 100%, he looks like he's going to be a genuine title contender. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would like to think so. I mean, he's put in the work, the team has put in the work to be in that position, a
lot of people are saying it as well, that he should be there.
Yeah, for sure. And it was remarkable, obviously coming into last year was a complete different scenario with not much bike time and stuff like that. So he's expecting it himself to be running up front and fighting for podiums, and that's our target, to be on the box every single weekend. That's where we want to be. We want to fight for podiums every single time the gate drops, and that history shows that puts you in a pretty good position.
Yep, and also Kai is back this weekend. I was speaking to him yesterday, pretty soon actually, after a ligament injury in the thumb. Where is he at physically, do you think, for this weekend?
Yeah, like you said, it was an amazing rehab.
Yeah.
So to be here is pretty remarkable, and this was from the photo shoot.
Yeah, photo shoot video.
Yeah. So no, it's just great to have him here. We obviously had to put him to the test during the week, right? To see and to be sure that he's able to hold on, ride, and things like that. So we had 2 good days on the bike, which means he had basically 3 weeks off the bike, something like that. So we're gonna build into it step by step, and hopefully not make any, drastic, stupid decisions on track, and try and build our way back into it. That's gonna be key.
From Kai's perspective, from what you saw in the MXGP class in Argentina, 100% Kai, where do you think he stacks up at the moment? If he was 100%?
Yeah.
challenging race wins, podiums, top threes? I know it's his rookie season, but we've seen what Lucas can do in the past.
Yeah, of course. I mean, definitely in terms of skill and speed, for sure. There is also a lot to learn in a new class, I believe. We need to keep the feet on the ground. What Lucas did last year was very, very impressive. I think, you know, we are realistic. He's realistic. We know what he's capable of. And when he's at 100%, you know, we've also seen him, you know, on practices. We've seen him at smaller races, racing Jeffrey on the 450, which again is not a GP. You don't have, you know, 8, 9 guys. But I'm confident that, you know, that he's going to find his way pretty soon in the class and establish himself as one of the top guys. Yeah.
It's been an interesting start to the season, actually.
Yeah.
Here we are, round 2, 2 brand new tracks. Doesn't happen that often, does it? How have you kind of, you know, as a team, how do you kind of go about that? Because you go there with no intel, no data and everything else. You've got to figure things out pretty quickly. Yeah. You would have had maybe a little bit of knowledge of altitude from Argentina in previous years. But what about this weekend? You know, because obviously talking to Camden, talking to Tom, track's a little strange, unpredictable, whatever, just with grip in some places and slick in others.
For sure. And we don't know what the rain really has done to the you know, the compound of the track and things like that. But as of right now, it does look tricky. It's sandy. It has a hard base. Square edges are coming up. But I generally enjoy coming to new tracks. I think it's pretty cool to do that in general. And like you mentioned with the elevation in Argentina, there are more, you know, topics that needs to be addressed before going here. We are close to sea level. It's the same for everybody. You know, you walk the track, you really don't know how is it going to develop. With the EMX classes as well, going out first, you know, when we go to the overseas and we're only MX2 and MXGP, I feel like it develops the track in a different way. So there are a bunch of different topics, and what I like about it is that it's the same for everybody, you know.
Yeah, it's a dirt track as well.
It is. It's dirt.
And the wheels?
They're round.
This is the conversation we had before we came on air. Like, we've got Smarty Pants Camden McClellan, and also we've got your mate Smarty Pants here, right?
And it's only round 2.
Long season.
Long season.
Yes.
But you know what? This is the beauty of us doing MXGP, isn't it? We're a family. We have bants with everybody, you know, and all the rest of it, and it just keeps us rolling.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
great. It's great.
Thanks, Rasmus.
Well, look, RJ, thanks for joining us here this weekend. All the best to you and the team. Right, we are out of time here. We've obviously got a lot of action coming up on MXGPTV.com today, starting with the time practice sessions with MX2 and MXGP, and then the qualifying race as well. We've also got all the EMX 125 and 250. So join us there. Everything live tomorrow. We'll be back next week, Switzerland. Hope you can join us then. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.
Unidad de España, para que disfrutéis ustedes, españoles, andaluces, de donde sea, de Cantabria, de la parte centro, de la parte de Extremadura, de Castilla y León, de Castilla, yo que sé, de donde sea, que disfrutéis, que estáis grandes. Y mañana que nos acompañéis en este único y acontecer momento que es el Gran Premio, este MXGP de Andalucía, porque es la única vez y esperemos que transcurran los tiempos aquí, en tierras almonteñas, porque se lo vamos a pedir a la Virgen del Rocío. Tráenos el 27, tráenos el 28 y cuantas veces sean necesarias, Virgencita. Así que te lo pedimos y así porque todos queremos disfrutar, todos ustedes, fenómenos, que soy la mancha que nos transmite a nosotros ese calorcillo por dentro, ese calorcillo de gracias a vosotros, gracias a vuestra asistencia, a los fenómenos que sois aquellos aficionados a este mundo brillante de vosotros. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Bueno, pues ya recordamos los 20 primeros puestos. García, Askew, Deutschen,